Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on back to Upsurge. We are going right into the action here in UML. We had some feisty composition that was great, but we're going to peel away from that conversation and get right into a whole new week. My name's Travesty. Joining me here, a witness to last week's games, peeling out of that week. It is the boy Gus DePosey. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, we had a bit of a split after last week. You know, the Banana Bowl was a whole lot of fun, but this week we got another exciting series coming up on here. So we got Barrel Esports take on Eclipse
Save me from
Esports,
these
I do
pods.
believe. But
Yeah.
should be a very exciting one, and we'll see how many more banana puns we can get in to make up for lost time.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. And hey, there's a whole new barrel of laughs to have here, indeed, too, because you also look at it and both of these teams, they want to shine bright like the sun. But of course, Eclipse, they might want to be the team that kind of blots out the sun from Barrel Esports here. They're round, they're brown, they're wanting to make sure that they're going to get popped quicker than Gangplank would be able to ever pop them himself. That being said, I am really excited to see what these teams are going to be able to bring out after watching the Banana Bowl. We got to see some Soraka. We probably won't see something in that feisty composition. However, we are on patch day, and there's a lot of junglers that we need to talk about. Garen, Zed, Talon, Diana, Gnar. There's just too many champions that just got added into the jungle pool, and I bet you some of these teams are saying, I kind of want to play some Talon jungle, no troll.
I don't necessarily think so, personally. As a jungler, the champions like Olaf and Lee Sin and Jarvan and whatnot, they're just too good at what they do, man. The main two that I'm looking at that some people have actually been that the main one really is Diana. I've seen a
Yeah, of
lot of
course.
Diana jungle, so making her clear faster is probably gonna help. Darius being able to heal on the jungle monsters is interesting, and you may see him in solo queue. I don't think you'll see him in competitive play. We'll see if anyone wants to try and play Gnar. I just think managing his Gnar bar is like a big part of playing him, and when you have to go and clear camps before you do anything, you may end up, not killing it and
Gone out.
wasting your Gnar bar. But we got the bans coming out fast and furious here for the side of Barrel Esports. They banned Elise, Jarvan, and Ornn, who did receive a change in the form of Sunfire Cape and all those items that have the burn, getting a bit of a change. So now the Bomby Cinder, Sunfire Cape, Cinder Hulk, the Immolate passive actually like scales with health, and when you do use an immobilizing ability, it actually does an extra wave of some serious damage scaling with health. But yeah, and then for the side of Eclipse, they banned Yumi, who is back, and we should all hate ourselves for it. Misfortune and Set, and locking in Aphelios right off the bat, followed up by the Zyra Rakan being locked in as his ban phase is going crazy, and Aphelios has clarity now.
Yeah. I really like this too, by the way. Zyra Khan is such a great answer to Aphelios, just because Aphelios, what does he do? He doesn't have any way to run away from you. So Rakan, great at getting in, and Zyra Khan is a very strong lane, so I really like the pressure they put out here. The answer does come out. What are we going to see from Barrel Esports? What is going to be their solution going into this pick?
Well, if you want to talk about an Eclipse, you could say the Leona would be good in a Zyra Khan, but locking in the Nautilus instead, also a pretty decent thing to play into them. However, the Featherstorm can dodge out on the depth charge if it ends up being used on the Zyra, but can just be used on the Rakan to stop him from doing Rakan things. That's also an option. And we'll see if they want to put some priority on a jungler, because they did ban out Elise and Jarvan, so maybe they want to take the Lee Sin or Olaf something here to try and keep it away. But Rengar being locked in could potentially be the jungle, but we've seen Bwipo playing at top lane in LEC too, so we'll see which one of these players is the Rengar player.
Yeah, when you look at Rengar, like Rengar is actually just a fantastic pick to see, and the Olaf gets locked in. So this Rengar is still a flex, like you were talking about. The Olaf technically could be as well, but more predominantly we do see it inside of the jungle. So we're going into the second ban phase, and now if you're looking at from the side of Eclipse, they kind of have to question what do they want to pinch, especially with them not knowing what the Rengar is. And I say Mordekaiser, that seems like a very safe place to start.
Yeah, they're just kind of banking on it. Rengar being in the jungle, just with a guess. FZNN, probably something he plays. We were kind of rushed here, so I didn't get a chance to look over people's stuff just yet. But Poppy being banned out, Also, a good ban there. If someone plays Poppy, very disruptive champion, can bring a lot to a team comp. So good to get that out of there as well. So it looks like both teams are banning out top laners, and apparently production says we're going to have a momentary flicker out of the stream, and we'll be back in just a minute. So we're just going to keep
completely ignoring their hustle, man. And I gotta say, I'm offended for them. But it is going to be Gameplank. Funny that Barrel Esports is going to be the team to ban away the Gameplank. But hey,
and how Eclipse didn't pick Diana or Leona, at least not yet.
Honestly, disappointed in the change of teams there. Like they should picking their mascots here, but instead they're just going for some standard meta stuff. And oh, it is a Scion to get locked in here. I'm a big fan of this pick currently.
Yeah, so with the Sunfire changes, you can hit people with your Decimating Smash, proc that extra Sunfire damage, and actually do a bit more damage than you otherwise would on Scion. And a lot of people have been saying that these changes is what's going to try to usher in the tank meta that we've all been waiting for ever since kind of the end of last year, when they're like, Riot's trying to force a tank meta on us. So we'll see if that ends up actually coming to fruition here, as LeBlanc is the blind here for the side of Barrel Esports. A relatively safe blind pick as far as mid lane goes. If you want to be something on the more aggressive side, something like LeBlanc or Syndra, generally what you end up blinding mid there. We'll see what they want to counterpick into the Scion with, if they end up wanting to send the Rengar into the Scion, or if they have something else in mind here. And then Eclipse will get whatever they want to play into the LeBlanc, but it's just going to be Aatrox locked in here.
Yeah, it's just going to be Aatrox. Good blind pick top laner to actually grab up, because you actually don't know where Scion's going still, because we have seen Scion mids in the past. But it is looking like it's going to be a Syndra that could possibly be picked into this LeBlanc, and it is locked on in. So we do get to see the composition. And I'm going to start it off by just saying I really enjoy the how stable Eclipse's team is. Like, they have a very clear way of how they want to play the game. I have to say, it's not a hard way to win a game of League of Legends either.
Definitely not. They have multiple forms of engage with Rakan and Scion. They have Olaf able to follow up on it. And they have two people that are very adept at blowing people up in the Syndra and Xayah. And, Syndra can remain relatively safe as long as she doesn't waste her Scatter the Weak. And Xayah has Featherstorm and her Root, and Rakan being able to fly back to her. So Eclipse has a very standard front-to-back team fighting style comp. But on the side of Barrel, they got a couple of assassins. They got an Aatrox, they got Nautilus, they got an Aphelios. They're looking for picks. They have the potential to team fight, kinda. Like, Rengar could jump in and Aatrox could follow up. Nautilus goes in, Aphelios does his thing, and LeBlanc just tries to look for the flanks and try to pick people off the low health targets. But it's a lot more straightforward from the side of Eclipse, like we were saying. They have a very standard team comp over there.
Yeah, it's very standard, very precise on what they want to do. While you do look over at Barrel, they have a much more solo queue-ish style, I would say. As you hear me say that quite often here in Upsurge, but teams do tend to default in that in the amateur scene. When you look at different teams, they tend to go for stuff like this LeBlanc, like the Rengar, like the Aatrox, champions that are strong independently. Even Nautilus is very strong independently. Aphelios being really the only one that kind of falls short. And he did actually just get hit with some nerfs. The range on his ultimate being gone is actually something pretty big against a composition like this.
Yeah, definitely. It requires him to walk up a little bit closer. I believe it was, a 500 range? Or I think it's
it was 500 range. I think it was 500. It was either 500 or 400.
Yeah, it was 5 or 3. It was either 1800 or 1600 range before, I forget. But it's 1300 range now, I do believe. So the same range that you can get experience from minions dying. And then I believe Calibrum got its auto reset thing taken away.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
So that's pretty good. But the big thing is you get to see what guns Aphelios has at both of them, instead of only seeing the one he currently has out. So you can kind of see, you can see if he's got the Crescendum and the Healy one. I still don't know all their names yet, but if he's got the white gun and the red gun, you don't want to walk up and 1v1 him because you're gonna lose.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's a hard knock life, and paying attention to the Aphelios and what weapons that he does have, whether he has a chakram, whether he has scythe, whether he has a sniper rifle, all that those little doodads that he has in his pocket.
Gizmos and gadgets.
Yeah, his gizmos and gadgets. You know what Headstech Affiliates?
Go gadget sniper rifle.
I just want to Inspector Affiliates, man. Just think about it. Oh, but that being said, I mean, it is definitely something that's going to be what we keep our eye on inside of this. Inspector Affiliates is a great idea. But you talked about Go Gadget, and I'm going to talk about something that you should go do right now. And do you know what that is, Gus?
What is that?
Gus, I'll let you know in a moment here. Let me throw your attention straight to this video.
Started with a vision of quality, a vision of uniformity.
We took the time to create something familiar yet refreshing, something with a bit of change.
Designed to fit any brand's unique vision.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the UML. And we are getting right into the action. If you missed the beginning of it, my name is Travis C. I'm joined here by Gusta Posey. And we are getting into a match here with Barrel Esports and Eclipse Esports. Man, looking to block out the sun with this invade. Well, not an invade, but a 5-stack.
Yeah, they're stuck on up, waiting for something to go on here. The best pause.
Yeah. You love pauses in Spectator because it loves to like desync everything. So it should be a fun time.
Yeah.
Fun time inside the kingdom as the game will unpause here. As getting right back into the action is Scion having a great time inside the bush. I don't think Rakan would appreciate that, buddy.
What was that Captain Flower said? Licking in the bush.
Stop!
Tom Kent's gonna give you a lick in the bush.
Yeah, lick in the bush. The most awkward and most unintentional of lines. But with that being said, minions are spawning, and the 5-stack didn't really pay off into any dividends. Very curious.
I think it was a good call though, because they have Nautilus. Nautilus is very good for invading. Has CC on essentially every bit of his kit, even his auto attacks. So, only his W just provides extra damage. It doesn't actually CC, but his autos do, so it makes up for it.
Yeah.
So they were just kind of waiting for that, as we do see the new Aphelios markers, where you get to see both his guns.
Yeah, you don't have to call out what the guns are. You don't have to call it by the name. You can just call the color, really and truly.
I'll learn them eventually.
I'm calling them by the color, man. It's like calling out Power Rangers, man. Who knows the name of the Power Rangers?
Billy!
Billy! But they just start coming out here. We're getting into the 2-minute mark. Lanes have started back up. Actually, very curious. Syndra actually shoved in wave and immediately warded the blue buff.
Yeah, trying to catch out the Rengar, figure out where he's going, because, Olaf, incredibly strong early game, is able to go and bully out pretty much any jungler, even bully out like the likes of Lee Sin and Elise. So, very strong to understand where the enemy jungler is, as Zyra Khan does hit level 2 first.
Yeah, forces the flash immediately, beautifully held there, made sure they wasted Nautilus's hook, and now the long black cat is looking a little tasty for a possible game.
And we got long black cat, and we got a Rengar, so double the cats, never a bad thing. Too bad we don't have a Meowkai or something.
Yeah, or a Yumi. That would be the best.
They banned Yumi.
They banned Yumi for a reason, man. It's a hard knock life, man. Trust me, I know. I get set banned from me, and I'm not even playing in his normal world.
I'm not even playing the top laner, the jungle. I'm set support, man.
But it is a story of looking at the jungle path in here. Actually, I do want to point out they do get vision of the Rengar here. They know exactly where he is. And Rengar's actually pinging the opposite side jungle here. And Olaf isn't really looking for any invade paths here.
Yeah, not yet. Just trying to secure his team some vision. Rengar going for that full clear because, Rengar would really love to hit level 6 as soon as humanly possible, or as soon as felinely possible, I suppose.
I see what you did there. I don't know how much I appreciate it, but somebody out there does. Aim down.
Oh,
a little bit of trouble here. Genesis doing a fantastic job on this LeBlanc, really putting on the pressure onto aim down.
Yeah, long black cat looking for a bit. Mark from the Calibrum comes out, doing a little bit of damage, but now the Severum's gone and he now has Gravitum. See, I know them. I just,
Hey, listen, it's fine.
It's not an on-demand kind of thing, I guess.
Well,
but here's Rengar chilling in the top lane. Doubtful that they'd get a kill on a full health Scion at this point in the game, but you never know.
They could look for it. Meow, meow. Here he is. Meow, there's the electrocute. Lots of damage being put back onto him. Nothing else to come out of it. He has a corruption potion. He's got Omnoms on the biscuits. So
I feel like he probably could have done a bit more damage if Rengar uses Empowered Bola Strike instead of another Q. So that way Aatrox could have tried to follow up with the chains or something. But, putting some fear, going, oh, he's actually ganking before 6. What a madman. Mad cat.
He's terrifying. And it will draw our eyes back down here to the bot lane. I do want to point out this Olaf is back down here yet again. They know that he's down here in this area. They do need to back away. We actually saw a great bit of restraint that I want to touch on from Long Black Cat. He actually knew that that was just a telegraphed gank.
Oh,
wait,
a lot of damage coming out.
Damage. Wait, Sion, you do not want to take this fight. Johnny picks up a solo kill, and I just was not expecting the Sion to go down like that.
I don't think Marcotte thought it was going to happen to him either. I thought he was out of the infernal chains, but walked into the actual diagonal corner and got pulled back in. I think we saw that happened to Huhi last year at one point too. That was something that he got memed on Reddit for, and it's something you got to watch out for because, you know, you always get pulled back into those sweet spot on those Aatrox Qs and you take a lot of damage.
It's not even just the Aatrox Qs there, too. I mean, he thought he was safe fighting inside of a minion wave, and you find out Aatrox has a lot of healing built into his kit. But you can already see, by the way, that he has Bomby
There's Bomby Cinder, and you saw it had like an active cooldown because it now has an active. Currently, it does 11 damage per second. And then once every 12 seconds, your next immobilizing spell does the base damage plus a health scaling. So right now for Sun, it's 4 bonus magic damage. Okay. So that's pretty interesting.
Trying to jump onto Olaf. They're both level 5. Aim down's going to find a lot of damage being put on. That's going to be Unleashed Power. Ignite is going to be used. Flash comes out from Vision, but he's going to find himself smited like any other jungle camp. And now Genesis looking to try and lay out some damage back onto this Olaf. There is an orb that has been used. The Ignite is going to be clear and day, but it's going to be Nets down there in the bot lane. Vince going to have to flash on away, gets healed on up. Ignite coming to play, and that flamethrower is keeping them at bay.
Yeah, and you look, there's only 2 summoner spells left for the side of Eclipse right now. Just the flash on Marcotte and the flash on Geico. Not sure how he wants his name pronounced. I don't know if he's selling us insurance, saving us 15% or not. But
or more.
Only they have their flashes left. Everything else is down, and Dragon is starting to look more and more like the objective the teams are going to fight over. So you have to be cognizant of that if you're Eclipse walking into a fight without all your summoner spells available.
I think it's also a valuable Drake for them to be able to grab, right? Who does not want bonus armor and magic resistances for their Scion, right? He is a big spongy boy, and Johnny laying out a lot of damage here yet again. It's just really laying in some work.
Not only the damage, but the healing to come out from the Aatrox passive, especially once Conqueror is proc too, you get that extra healing coming on in as well. And Johnny hasn't backed yet. He's still just chilling with a Doran's Blade. He's still live and well, and he's got about 2,400 gold chilling in his inventory.
He's just gonna buy a whole item at this point.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna straight buy Death's Dance, guys. Don't worry about it. Oh, long black clap.
He's going to find himself getting caught out. That's going to be an anchor toss. That's going to be able to catch onto Vince. Lots of damage being put on. There's the Chakram. He has the Scythe in his possession, so lots of healing to come back. Is she going to be able to get out?
That's that Severum Crescendum combo you hear about on LCS when Viper ran in on double lift and got murdered. That's the combo right there. You don't want to fight in Aphelios while he's got that going on, because there's a lot of damage and healing to come out of that.
And a lot of damage and healing will end up leading for them to back it on up and grab themselves a Drake here. And you also got to look Conqueror on this Aphelios too, something that I don't think you and me talked about. So even more healing stacked on top of it.
Yeah, I thought that was press the attack actually, because that's generally what Aphelios have been going. But you know, Conqueror makes sense too. You stack up the AD as you stack it up, and once it's fully gone, you get a bunch of AD and some healing. Combine that with the Severum healing, and you know, you got yourself a sustainy boy.
Yeah, one sustainy boy. All right, is Fizzin over here counter jungling a little bit. He is going to find himself getting spotted on out. Going to have some damage returned back onto him, but he's looking to get the red buff exchange. Going to let him back away with his life on that. He does have Shelly in his pocket. So you do see them just
quickness.
Back it on the way, but here comes the quickness. They're going to use the death charge here. They're going to be able to get the knockup. Lots of damage being put back onto Long Black Cat, but Vince is taking a heaping them out. Hash is going to be able to hash it on out. The Moonlight Vigil comes in.
He flashed behind.
He is going to flash right behind, though, and it is a clean Double kill coming out from Hash. There's going to be a scatter to wheat being used inside the mid lane. Going to be able to pick up a kill in the 1v2 scenario. And Fizzon's going to find his HP getting dropped down so incredibly low, but it's not going to be enough to take down this kitty.
I think that was a 5-stacked Unleashed Power coming down from aim down. Did so much damage to Genesis, as well as the next auto with the Ignite was enough to take down the LeBlanc. Vision did return it, will pop Shelly mid as well and get these plates. But, 2 plates left, and it's not the ideal time to use Rift Herald. You want to use it on the last few plates, if at possible, but unable to do so because those last few plates are tankier than the first few. So, in a perfect world, you would have gotten the whole tower, but, world ain't perfect.
It is not.
Aatrox still hasn't backed, by the way.
I was about to say, Aatrox has not backed still.
He's got 3,300 gold in his inventory.
Look at the CS lead, too. Like, he has this CS lead without backing.
Look how much he heals, too.
We are almost 11 minutes into the game, guys. Like, this is actually insane to me to see that this Aatrox is just sitting here just doing what he wants to do here. Now
here comes the
coming
flank.
out here looking for something. They're going to be able to jump on the Hash. Lots of damage being put back onto him. Not going to be able to get the root onto him. Vince going to back it on up. They get his HP bars dropped down critically low, but nothing else to come out. He'll just back, recover some HP, be back
and it was
stronger.
Pretty smart from Hashish to throw out his Gravitum auto and root up Geico so that way he couldn't follow up to try and keep going. I think he did not get autoed at least once or twice by actually rooting Geico in place. And, he survived because of that, because he had like 120 health.
Hey, shots back for the first time, baby. Black Cleaver bot immediately with some boots and a vision ward.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping we'd see the Death Dance rush, but, Black Cleaver's fine. And, Black Cleaver makes sense into this team comp because there is the Scion there, shredding as much armor as humanly possible for your Aphelios to do damage, because Aphelios does not get his armor pen stats until later on, is if you order them up in the traditional order anyway. You go for the AD, then the attack speed, and then the armor pen with your last few levels. Because, a lot of people have been saying that Black Cleaver is actually useless if there's not an actual tank on the enemy team, as aim down takes a good bit of damage there. And, Ellis was saying, hey, you should probably build like Trinity Force on Aatrox instead of Black Cleaver if they don't have a tank. You might as well just do more damage instead of shredding 24% of someone's 60 armor, It
is a very, very true point. And you're seeing, yet again, the damage coming on out here onto the Scion, just heaping amount of damage. And something else to take note of is, look at Rengar here, the build choice that he's gone for, T-Mat and a Dirk as well, probably going for that nice and revealing wards item as we have a knockup coming in. The quickening comes in and Aphelios is completely deleted. Here comes Rengar. It's the thrill of the hunt, baby. He just can't wait to be king. He's going to find himself getting 2 kills down here in the bot lane. And Barrel Esports turned that around as a positive for themselves.
And you can tell that the bot lane of Barrel has played against Xayah a lot. They've flashed behind her multiple times after she's used Featherstorm to get out of the way of the feathers. Fortunately, Geico did blow his flash, but here's Johnny.
Yeah, here's Johnny. Did use that TP from behind the blue buff, and that will secure a flash, and looks like a Drake for Barrel Esports.
And Genesis gets the blue buff.
That's a real yeehaw situation right there. That's a good time if you're looking at the side of Barrel. They are definitely happy with how
and they get the Infernal too, which is a Drake that their comp would love very much.
Yeah, each team has gotten a Drake that really fits them really well.
And
by the way,
it's
Ocean Rip. This is too good for Rengar. Wait.
Man, it's rigged.
Rigged. Yeah, this is one of the things. It's like an indirect buff that came out to Rengar, and why a lot of people started playing him again, right?
I mean,
all these bushes getting added in.
Arguably Air Rift would be too, because then he gets more ult CDR for more ults. You don't need bushes if you can always ult.
This true. It's true. Won't be getting any of those though. He's gonna have to just wait on those lethality items to give him the cooldown that he needs. As he's down here in the bot lane yet again.
Midnight Vigil not quite up yet. Has Calibrum and Inferno, but here's Vision.
They're looking for it. They're trying to jump on. They're trying to be proactive about how they go for this play, but it is going to be aimed down. It's going to be joined down on the rotation. All Black Cat's going to be dropped down so very low. It's going to have to heal. It's going to be able to go down, but it's going to be Hash getting hashed out, and Geico is going to collect on Long Black Cat. and just a great roam coming out from Eclipse in the bot lane.
Yeah, it looks like Geico put in a claim, got it done, got the money, got the check, took it to the shop, and got his car repaired, because just like that, Eclipse looks like a whole different team that in exchange. After losing out on that fight and that dragon, they come down bottom and make a play, and the gold lead's still really close. Game's essentially even.
Yeah. He was able to get a result that he was definitely satisfied. Johnny able to hit away onto the top side here. Doesn't have the same CS lead that he had before after doing a couple rotations. Not too terribly surprising, but ooh, Genesis catching out the Olaf here, but does have to back up. Aim down is in the area. Does not want to risk getting popped by Syndra.
Yeah, if Mick Chastney was actually in danger, would have used the Ragnarok and ran out of that chain instead of just standing there. Knew that she used all her abilities, didn't have anything else really to throw out except maybe another Sigil of Malice, but probably wouldn't have killed him either way.
Check out this rotation, by the way, here. They rotated their bot lane up here, but they were a little bit slow in the rotation. They went for a Death Bush strat, and instead, it's going to be Beryl getting themselves a second Herald. Did they actually use the first one? They used it mid lane.
Yeah, Rengar
I was about to say, I was like, I don't even remember them using the first one, but this game has been actually fairly action-packed.
It definitely has been. Both mid laners going for Ludens. You have seen some mid laners building Hextech GLP even without the Frozen Rune. I forget.
Glacial Augment.
Yeah, Glacial Augment. Name escaped me there for a little bit. Because it's cheaper than Ludens. It gives you just 10 less AP, and the damage actives, or the damage on the actives rather, is pretty comparable. Plus the utility of the extra slow is something that a lot of teams like to do. But both these mid laners going for the Ludens just want that upfront burst potential. Being, Syndra and LeBlanc makes a lot of sense for them to just want to do as much damage as they can in a short amount of time.
I did want to say, we looked at the build. I thought that Rengar was actually going to go for an Umbral Glaive as a first item. Actually went for the Dustblade option. So looking for more damage instead of securing more vision with his team here. So opting into trying to burst down a little bit faster. Hasn't been able to have the
I think he can burst down everyone except for Marco and McChastney because they have a Ninja Tabby. Everyone else will probably get one shot or pretty close to it.
The ultimate counter to any lethality assassin.
Yep.
Ninja Tabby.
And I mean, Marco's Scion and he's building Sunfire, so, Vision's probably not looking to do a whole lot of damage to him. He's like, I just want my Krugs. Give me my Krugs. Leave me alone. If Johnny's here...
Yeah, Johnny's here in the area. He's going to scream Nazis, run away cowards as he runs straight into the wall.
He's still going in, man. All these bushes.
Vision really wants to continue this. Gets the enhanced boa onto him.
Moonlight Vigil's available.
Gonna find himself getting on out of there. Still looking at the fight over here in the top side. The Quickening's going to come on out. They're looking to turn this around. Genesis trying to get a kill here. Is still looking for more. Shelly's getting summoned down here. And the bot side, that's going to be a chain that's going to be coming on that. Featherstorm being used by Geico.
Whoa,
is going to be able to get a beautiful flash snare. They're going to find Genesis. Genesis backs it on up.
And
it's going to be an auto to get on taken out. And that is still going to be a kill that goes on to him for a tower for a life after was a lot of fancy footwork from both sides in the top lane.
Yeah, that flash from Geico to root up the LeBlanc was awesome. The popping back and forth. But it just shows you how much trust the bottom lane of Eclipse has in each other that they were able to allow Geico to pick up that kill instead of Rakan taking it, Vince taking it. They knew, hey, she's not going to kill me from this point.
Unleash Power coming on out with the Ignite dropped on Johnny. Drops him down to super low HP. They do have the Chakram turret thrown on down there, so they are going to be able to spew out some hot flames. But it's an Ocean Drake, and that is what Eclipse have their eyes on.
Yeah, and Thrill of the Hunt not available just yet, is a few seconds away, so they should be able to pick up this Drake no problem. No one's around to contest. So, we're still a ways away from Soul. 2 more Drakes for the side of Eclipse, 3 more for the side of Beryl. Ocean Soul, super powerful, even still after it got nerfed a few patches ago. I still think it's the most powerful Soul in the game.
Yep. I 100% agree with you. I remember I was playing a game of Summoner's Rift last night, and I was just like, "Yo, this is Ocean Soul. We need this. This
Oh,
is
here's
too
Rengar.
good." But here comes Vision looking for a possible catch here. It looks like they
Look
will
at
be able to
CC
find
chain.
him, and they will pull Vince right back in. You're gonna die all the same, buddy. You're just gonna die a little bit closer to Geico.
Yeah, I don't think Geico covers that.
No, nope. They do not cover that. They tend to shy away from covering that kind of stuff. But hey,
They're trying to collapse here on a Syndra throw. The hunt popped.
throw the hunt,
Whoa!
spin pop, aim down, HP drop, and it's gonna be Longcat picking it up. The anchor toss.
It's like,
This is
oh,
gonna be a
my
kill
team has
secure.
donated me this kill. Thank you, team.
He's like, thank you. I will buy armor off of this.
It's like, I already got stone play. I'm already full build for support. I might actually get to Zeke's Harbinger this game. Thanks, guys.
I also like Nautilus's build, by the way. I think every tank support should be doing this right now.
Oh yeah, stone plate
just
is
going-
so strong.
Yeah, just go stone plate first item. Like you can go inspiration second and just get the stopwatch, and it's so just cost
Like
effective.
you proc your oh, here we go, Johnny.
No.
Looking for something, but you proc your aftershock and pop the stone plate. Especially if you are around 3 people and get the doubling of your health with the aftershock armor and MR, you're literally unkillable. And if you're Leona with her W on too, you actually take no damage, and Nautilus's shield lasts for a year and a half. So
yeah, those are the
both
prime
Nautilus and
abusers of
Leona
it.
are just incredibly strong with stone plate.
Yeah, definitely the prime abusers here. I'm actually very curious of. I guess Vince is going for a Knight's Vow here. As well.
Yeah, Rakan doesn't make as good a use of stone plate as the other support.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. He definitely.
It's all about
doesn't-
buffing up Xayah, because like, you know what? I don't see too many people playing Xayah without Rakan or vice versa. You know, you'll see it in pro play to like split up the duo every once in a while, but for the most part, it's just Xayah, Rakan, and Rakan builds the items to buff up Xayah.
And Xayah doesn't build anything for him. Shame. As
She builds damage, because when she does damage, Rakan heals with Knight's Vow.
There you go. As Genesis getting caught out in the bush is going to be able to distort away. Gonna be fine with that. As Vision now getting cleared around this Baron pit, there is a TP advantage on the side of Eclipse. Throw the hunt being popped. Vision looking for something. He's smelling you aim down. He's gonna find himself getting stunned down. He was weak. Chains connecting onto the Rakan, but Rakan very hard to stay onto.
And look at what build path McChastity's gone for. As we
Okay,
got Sion coming down.
No, Sion's running it on down to the mid lane. Long Black Clack. He is looking to get absolutely glacked. Lots of damage being put back onto him, but it's
Oh,
going to be
Johnny!
Johnny that's first to be popped. It is going to be 2 kills that go over the Eclipse off of that, and beautiful catch out by them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at McChastity's build. He thinks LeBlanc is the only threat. He literally rushed a Spirit Visage after his jungle item. He's like, I don't want to deal with LeBlanc. Everyone else is whatever. I just don't want to get popped by LeBlanc. So he'll probably build up some more armor items here, but this Baron should be free and clear unless Vision wants to try and go on in for it. But don't see much of a way. They're just going to take the trade for the probably both tier mid towers in response for this Baron. So not the worst trade in the world, because this Baron's probably not going to end the game at this point. Just a 23-minute Baron. But we'll buy them some priority over this next Drake as well, which would put them at soul point if they're able to get it.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic for them to be able to snatch that one on up. And it's kind of weird. This game's still completely even at this point in time in terms of gold and everything like that. But gotta
I'm
acknowledge
interested
Eclipse
by
finding everything.
Geico's build path here. Like, I understand going PD second because, you know, but going into another Zeal item instead of building Infinity Edge at this point in the game just feels a little off to me. As a hook comes in.
Yep. And not going to be able to catch him out. And yeah, I agree with you. Definitely would want more damage. You were talking about it, hyping up the damage part. And here he is, letting you down on this. Genesis sitting on a ward is going to find out that he was sitting on a ward after that.
Yeah, now you're fighting against a Baroned up team. Here comes Sion coming down river.
Yeah, here he is. He's going to be able to find the catch onto
That's
the
so much
Aatrox,
damage!
knocked up and popped, and he is gone back to the fountain. The stone plate's been popped by Long Black Cat. He is licking the layout. stay and sponge up as much damage as possible. Is throw the hunt coming on out. They're gonna jump on there. Aim down's gone. Vision's on a killing spree. They're laying out more. Black Cat re-engages into the fight. It's gonna be the Featherstorm coming out from Geico. He's gonna be able to pick up the kill onto the Nautilus, onto the backside. It is now Hishishi. He is left alone with a Scion and the rest of Eclipse looking to jump in, but now it's the Assassins running free reign into the backside. Ignite taken away on Geico, but he's going to be able to sustain himself on up, and now it's going to be the Scion being able to pop the passive of the LeBlanc. Is going to be able to get the knockup. They're turning their attention over to the Drake and Eclipse. There's 2 members here. Are they going to look for something more? Geico is already healed up, and it is just going to be an Ocean Drake that is going to go over to the side of Eclipse.
Yeah, it felt real bad if Nick Chastity lost that smite there. As Olaf who gets to do true damage plus the smite to an Aphelios. That felt real bad. Thankfully for him, secured it no problem. Now they are on Soul Point, and you just see how strong Geico is now. He doesn't even have Infinity Edge yet. He's able to outlast everything, and you saw Johnny just get exploded at the start of the fight when the Scion charge smashed into him. Took about a third of his health, comboed that into the knockup and into the damage coming out. But you see what threat the Rengar is. Vision is able to one-shot aim down, and probably Geico if Featherstorm isn't available too, so it's kind of on a knife's edge, even still.
Yeah, one of your carries can get popped here very easily. You look at the side of Eclipse, they have this really strong front to back that they're able to play out, but we just saw a great example of what happens if Rengar and LeBlanc are able to get around to the side. That question could be very scary if the Aatrox doesn't get popped right at the very beginning of the fight.
Yeah, still doesn't have Death Stance just yet, so, you know, he had a great start to the game. You know, he was able to save up his 3,400 gold before he backed. But since then, he's kind of stalled out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And kind of just chilled on out. Now it is just the game kind of slowing down. Getting control over side waves has become a little bit of a priority here. And so looking to see what team is going to be able to start taking control over the map. Baron buff is gone, so don't have that pushing power helping out Eclipse right now.
Are you telling me that we won't see the world-famous NA-RAM?
Listen. I'm not saying we will see the world-famous NA-RAM. I'm just saying we're going to see the world-famous UML NA-RAM.
Okay.
They are going to look to just bunch it on up into the mid lane here. It's a tactic you can only see here. No, we can't see it anywhere else. Gus, you know this. Come on, man.
Not even in LCS.
Not even in LCS. Never LCS. No. Better competitive region than every other region, obviously. Come on.
Excluding Europe and Korea and China.
Yeah, and yeah, well, I mean, have they ever won an LCS championship? I would say no. As they are going to jump onto him. Johnny going to find himself getting charmed up. Not going to be able to be in range of those stuns, but Johnny having some PTSD from the last time he got caught out. Immediately flashed at. Fine, respectable. Syndra over here on the side, looking to apply pressure for this tower. Could be looking to press the go trigger. Vision looking for a possible catch onto aim down. Aim down still so very low. It's going to be Hash going to be able to pick up that kill. The fight is all over the place. They're trying to jump on the Vision, but Johnny gets a huge 2-man knockup into the backside. Market's over here into the side.
Look at all those chakrams.
Goes ahead. He has the Gargoyle Stoneblade. He lives for so long.
Look at all the chakrams.
He needs as he's just going to be finding another kill. A double kill. Hash is going to be able to pick up 3 kills down here in the bot lane, and they completely rout Eclipse. Oh, they're not done. Genesis, he wants more. Vince did not get the knockup. Is going to be able to jump away to safety, but so many key things that went wrong for Eclipse there.
Yeah, that fight got real chaotic real fast. Hash was able to get there had to have been 20 chakrams going on there from his crescendum passive going on there. That was crazy. Every auto, it was just a conga line of death. Just coming in and coming back out to him, encircling, coming back out again. There was so much damage being dealt by that Aphelios in that fight. It was just incredibly chaotic. Everyone got spread out. Geico tried to escape. I'm not sure if he actually went down or not. There's just so much going on. It was crazy. And that's the kind of fights that Beryl want. They're the team with the 2 assassins and the Aatrox. Once fights get spread out and get chaotic, that is where their team comp thrives. But, they're on Soul Point, and it's Ocean Soul. Mm-hmm. And even if fights get chaotic, if Eclipse has Ocean Soul, it's going to be so hard for them to blow people up. Syndra has stopwatch now. She will be able to survive Rengar's onslaught this time. Geico's Featherstorm should be up by the time this dragon gets up, or pretty close to it. You know, they are kind of chilling around this Baron, but honestly, if I'm Eclipse, I give up Baron for Ocean Soul at this point.
Yeah, and now you're seeing them kind of looking to go around, trying to rotate, get some vision control around this Drake, and Eclipse is having none of it. They want this Drake. They said, we're stronger 5v5 as long as you guys don't get to start out the fight by popping our Syndra. Have to see if that's going to be true or not, as Ocean Drake is up, and it's do or die time, it looks like, for both of these teams.
And just a quick little check-in on Sion's Sunfire Cape damage. It does an extra 119 magic damage when he hits an immobilizing spell. Like this one!
He's looking for it. Not going to be able to connect with it, though. Going to have some damage going down. Aim Down's going to find himself getting hit.
Aim Down gets blown up!
He's going to find himself getting taken out. Vision! Going to be able to pick up one. Going to be able to find Desire. Geico is going to Featherstorm right into the arms of the Rengar. That's going to be a beautiful hook. That's going to be able to come out there and interrupt the Sion.
Oh, man, that Infernum Vigil.
Just burning alive. And he hopes Eclipse having this fight. And it is just going to be them fully routed. It is just the Sion left. That's a stopwatch from Genesis. He's okay with that result because it means they're going to take him down. That is going to be an ace in favor of Beryl.
Yeah, and Hash is just taking over these fights now. That Infernum Moonlight Vigil did a ton of damage to the remaining members after Vision pretty much single-handedly took down both the carries, Aim Down and Geico. Pretty much blew them both up. And this will delay the soul point and give Beryl their first Ocean Drake. So now they have a little bit of regen going for themselves as well. And Aim Down didn't even get to stopwatch because I believe he got hit by the death charge from Long Black Cat. So a good combo there from those two to make sure that the Syndra died. And then Geico was just really scared and used Featherstorm to get in a bush and wasn't able to pull the feathers back and actually root up Vision. Otherwise, there probably would have been a kill.
I feel like we have to keep an eye on the Nets fight. We got to look at Aim Down's positioning here because this is 2 fights in a row that Eclipse have lost, and it started with Aim Down being popped or being caught in some shape or form. And this guy has a stopwatch and Bansheesville. There's almost no excuse, it feels like.
Yeah, and he just ends up getting hit by LeBlanc Wing in or something to pop the Banshee's Veil, and then Nautilus can ult off of that. Something else we have to watch out for is when is Geico going to finish his Infinity Edge, because he's leaving a ton of damage on the table to get the Rapid Fire and PD first. You know, you want that crit damage multiplier on the Xayah. That's where she thrives. You know, most pro ADCs build Essence Reaver directly into Infinity Edge. A lot of them don't build a Zeal item after they get Essence Reaver. So, you know, it's just kind of interesting there. And, you know, he might have been able to do more damage in these fights had he gotten Infinity Edge. And I think that's the first time I've ever actually seen a Syndra pick up an Aphelios turret.
It threw you for a loop there, didn't it?
Like, I you know, it makes sense that it's possible. I've just never seen it before.
And Dark, we are going to see a Baron attempt start up here. As
they do it relatively quickly.
He's on the flank, though. You got to watch out. Aim Down in a tricky spot. Needs to be careful with how he does this. They're going to peel off immediately.
Johnny's pushing the inhib in the bot lane, though.
Yeah, they can stall this out. Here we go. Unstoppable Onslaught coming on in. It's Sion looking to get a catch, but it's a depth charge coming on in. And they blow so much and not able to scare anybody while Johnny is just free pushing. Genesis is going to stop some backs here. They're going to keep going with this. They are scattered and they are looking to loot everyone. It's just stopping everybody. Genesis, you menace. He is looking. Johnny gets an inhibitor and now Eclipse, they mad, they upset, they angry, as it's going to be Hash getting the kill on the Moonlight Vigil coming on in. They're going to be able to look for a Rue here as Heshi going to go ahead and use this.
got chained.
A-okay. He's going to be able to sustain himself up. He's got the gravity gun. He's got the scythe. He heals it on up. It's nobody else is there to save them in this fight.
Is he gonna end the game?
Clearing it. Johnny down here inside the net is going to go down to Aim Down, but Aim Down, the only member able to recall and stop Johnny from ending the game, but still almost loses their entire base for it.
Yeah, and they're probably going to give up this Baron. As soon as Hash gets here, they should have the DPS to get it done. And, you know, Aim Down's got to deal with the minions, push out the way as best he can, and it just seems like Eclipse got tilted all of a sudden. They went for that Baron. They went to try and catch everyone, but they all just, every single one of their engage tools missed.
They are mad. I'm gonna say this right now. When you have your recall stop 3 times in a row due to Luden's echo, you're mad.
That last one was insane. Literally all 4 of the Ludens hit them all, and it was just like, ha.
Like,
Oh,
literally,
man.
if 2 of them were able to bat there, they would have stopped it. But now, Johnny has TP. Like, if they do not manage this wave properly, Johnny will end the game in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's a 8,500 gold lead here for the side of Barrel. Aphelios is up. He has completed Infinity Edge as well as a Guardian Angel and another BF sword compared to Geico. So this Aphelios is a monster at this point. And that's kind of just about all you need, actually, at this point. Is you just need Aphelios to be strong and him to not get randomly blown up. But Syndra hasn't been able to touch him. Syndra is too busy trying to not die on her own.
Yeah, look at these defensive items, man. Like I said, Banshees now, Azania's has been completed. I mean, Aim Down really, like I said, has so much defensive itemization. It's actually kind of terrifying.
And he's still dying.
Yeah. It's rough, right? If you're the Syndra right now and you're buying all this defensive itemization, you got to feel like there's a lot of pressure on you when you are like, getting caught out of position still in a lot of these fights and being put in really bad scenarios. And right now, tempo completely favors Barrel at this point.
Yeah, and even Marco, even though he's really strong in terms of like tank stats, he's got over 3,000 health, he's got a lot of armor. At this point, Aphelios has the armor pen stat shards that he gets when he levels up now. He's level 16. He's close to being max level. He's got some armor pen built in, not in his items, but in his stats itself. So, you know, he's going to be able to put out a ton of damage even to Marco. And, you know, they're pushing on in, and they may just try to push and end this game, but they're going to engage.
There comes the unstoppable onslaught. They're going to stop it a little bit early, trying to get the knockup. They will succeed, and they're going to be able to get that onto 2. That's going to be the quickening coming out nets. They're going to follow this one up, but it's going to be Aphelios that's going to be able to survive inside this fight. That's going to be the Moonlight Vigil coming on to the side. Going to be able to drop Geico super low. He's going to have to use the heal. Doesn't have the Grievous Wounds applied to him anymore. They're going to go for another knockup here, and they're going to be able to get a lot of damage. Geico's going to be able to pick up one off the
Look
back.
at the Infernum damage!
It's going to be coming in, but it's just going to be the Flamethrower incinerating the HP bars. But it doesn't matter. Genesis just ends the game. It's a magic trick. You got the 2 assassins last hitting your base.
Yeah, Genesis of Vision said, you know what? We're just going to hit the Nexus. But there was a lot of damage being put back out by the side of Eclipse, but they ran into the Infernum. Those crits were dealing so much damage. The AoE crits from the Aphelios were just blowing away Eclipse. And Geico didn't get to finish his Infinity Edge before the game ended. And, you know, that's something you got to question is, you know, when the pro players go Essence Reaver into Infinity Edge and you took not only a single item detour, because like you can forgive the PD because there's a Rengar, there's a LeBlanc, but getting rapid fire afterward instead of Infinity Edge during the crucial point of the game where your team was actually doing pretty good, it just seems like a bit of an error in item builds to me.
Yeah, I agree with you because I feel like Aphelios was able to pump out so much more damage just because the fact you look at the items they went for Essence Reaver, Hurricane, then went right into the Infinity Edge, right? Like that's a lot of damage that was actually able to be pulled out in his first 3 items. Where Geico, I mean, yeah, you got the crit chance, but you don't have the damage that you need, and it's a very big thing to look at. And Aphelios really had a pop-off game inside of that 12-2-8, and really
he did 42,000 damage.
It's insane how much damage he did.
I think it was most of that was from that one fight where he had the 20 chakrams going, because that fight was crazy.
I mean, there was so many things that were crazy in those fights, though. Like I said, Aim Down, find himself getting popped. I'd hate to sound like I'm ragging on the dude, but he had built so defensively and he gets caught out at the very beginning, and then they kind of run shot from there. Like Vision did not have an impressive early game on Rengar. I don't think anybody would call that a successful early game from a Rengar, but the mid game was phenomenal. And Genesis also didn't have the craziest of laning phases, but the mid game, yet again, popping people off is a big thing that I feel like Eclipse is going to have to look back at.
And not only that, Barrel succeeded in breaking up their Eclipse's front-to-back team comp and able to make the fight spread out and get a little chaotic. Once the chaos started, that's where the assassins come in. That's where the CC and low cooldowns of the Nautilus come in. That's where Aatrox was able to actually function, because before, when Eclipse was winning the fights, he would get blown up instantaneously and Eclipse would win from there. because he's their only front line. But once the fights explode into chaos and everyone's just kind of off in 2v2s and 1v1s, that's where Barrel's team comp shined.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we're going to take ourselves a short break here as we are going to get ourselves ready, prepare our mind and body. Be sure not to go anywhere as we will be right back with some more UML action. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the UML as we are getting into a very, very anticipated game here. As we're getting into game 2 here between Eclipse and Barrel. Barrel able to come our way with the first win after a very closely contested game here. My name is Travis. I'm joined here with Gus. And Gus, I am ready to see what these teams are ready to adapt with here inside of this.
Yeah, I mean, looks like the same draft so far. Got UE band, got MF band, got Jarvan band. Looks like similar stuff. We'll see if they decide to ban the Rengar or if Eclipse has a different play around it better or have a pick to play into it to kind of shut it down. We'll see what goes on with that. So,
yeah,
yep.
It is going to be a Rengar ban. Just taking it on off the table. It was a problem inside of the mid game and Misfortune banned away as well. It's not one to have that as the set is now a pit that could potentially be left open.
Yeah, and I mean, after Set got the little nerfs he got, some people don't like him as much because he's not as, I guess, OP as he was before. But I still think Set's strong. Maybe not first pickable when Ornn is still a thing. Mm-hmm. They will ban out the Xayah, so we'll see if Eclipse decides to pick Ornn with their very first pick here on the blue side. B1, as LS likes to call it.
They could go for it. See what they'll be able to pick on up, and it will be the Ornn. It looks like as very stable, strong pick, like you were talking about.
Yeah, counter picked by the Set, but you know you can play Set pretty much anywhere if you really want to.
Yeah,
Barton won't function well as the bottom carry, you know, unless you're into another melee or a mage or something. But taking away Set and giving the Aphelios back to Hash is probably a very good idea there. He had a fantastic game on it in game 1. We'll see where the Set's going because, you know, Set jungle a thing. Set mid's also a thing. Set support can also work into other melee matchups. So we'll see exactly where they want to go with that. My only qualm about playing Set and Ornn is you have to wait for him to use his Bellows Breath before you ult him into his team. Actually, I think even though he ignores it, I think you still do all that extra damage. You just don't pull him into his team. You just kind of jump in yourself and you're like, YOLO!
It's like you botched a power bomb, right? And the person slide. It's like somebody goes through the whole motion of a power bomb, but they slide down your back. It is something else. That's just like the best way to think about it, where like the person just goes through the entire motion.
I mean, a botched powerbomb generally ends with someone's neck being broken, so that's probably not a good thing.
By God, he's broken in half, but that being said, Ezreal and Elise, the two E's, getting picked up here, as over on the other side, we do see the Braum being paired together with Aphelios, and seeing the support pool kind of getting pinched down now.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Braum, something that's pretty good to pick up with something like Aphelios, especially because if you have the Equilibrium, you can get the marks down from a long range and proc the Braum passive from long range to try and set something up to combo with the Glacial Fissure for some in-lane shenanigans going on there. So, you know, plus just, you know, auto attacks with Braum work well. And, you know, Braum's not everyone's favorite support. You know, he's kind of boring to play at times. I'm sure support players get tired of playing him all the time, but, you know, very strong, very good at what he does, and a solid pickup overall.
Can't convince me to play him. But
I don't have to. Mo has to.
Yeah, he can try. That's all I got for him. He can try. But besides me kicking and screaming my way out of playing Braum ever, is you see the pool getting pinched down a little bit more, trying to take away some of these aggressive picks. I can't give Braum Aphelios a little bit of trouble for sure. And like,
I mean, Leona's still up. That's something that, like, whenever someone plays Aphelios in solo queue, they pretty much always just ban Leona. They're just like, nope, we're just not going to deal with it. But Braum is a good pick into Ezreal, can stop the True Shot Barrage and any Mystic shots, anything coming out. But, you know, I don't think Leona Ezreal is really the ideal combination of a bottom lane that you try to play, especially since you already have an Ornn for engage and Elise for follow-up. Don't necessarily need the Leona. They could just try and pick, like, Nautilus again or something and just kind of roll with that. Pantheon being locked in is a bit of a flex pick because Pantheon jungle can work, and Pantheon mid is something that we've seen a lot of in Korea.
Yeah, you've actually seen a lot of teams over in EU trying to pull it out as well, and we've even seen some of it being played over here in NA, but more so in the jungle role whenever you do see Pantheon over here in the good old land of Freedom and Bald Eagle.
Well, and maple syrup for our Canadian brethren.
Yeah, and maple syrup for our Canadian brethren, and
whoa, we got some yordles.
Hold on, I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's correct. I think they messed up pro draft there.
Okay, that's Silas instead of Vagar. So Silas and Lulu is what is actually picked there. That's not Vagar. Although I don't think Vagar is a bad pick in general.
It wouldn't have been a bad pick, but the way they picked that instantaneously, like, there's no way they picked this lovers duo here.
Oh, there we go. We got Pantheon Talia, and the thing about Pantheon Talia is you can Talia jungle, you can Talia mid lane, you can Pantheon jungle, you can Pantheon mid lane. So we'll see exactly who decides to pick that, because Pantheon Talia as a combo is so good because you can just stun him up and let Talia land her seismic shove. But you know, we'll have to see exactly where everything's going here, because you know Set can also jungle, Set can also still mid, so there's lots of flex picks going around for Barrel's draft this time around.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of flexibility to come out there. I think anybody who is a fan of like professional play knows exactly why people pick Talia Pantheon together as well. Like you were talking about, you can hold them down for the seismic shove and all this other stuff.
No, but they're globals too.
Yeah, the globals are just disgusting together.
It's like the season 3 Shen Twisted Fate combo. You know,
I do want to ask you,
I got the globals.
This does mean that they're putting a lot of eggs in there early and mid game between this duo, right? Pantheon Talia, not known for being this like, oh, we're scaling into the late game and we're going to be popping off.
Talia scales. Talia's all right late game. You know, you land a seismic shove into your rocks that you put down, and it'll kill someone. But that's why they have Aphelios. Aphelios is their late game power here, and it looks like it's going to be Talia jungle. And Set has been picked by the top lane. Doesn't mean anything. They can still trade.
Yeah.
I don't know if Stream sees the actual client draft or not. Might just be looking at the pro draft still. But currently, Johnny has Set selected, and Genesis has Pantheon selected. So, you know, we'll have to see what they end up deciding with their final lock-ins. But I think the Pantheon mid into Silas makes a lot of sense, because it's an ultimate that can't really just be kind of thrown down in the middle of a combo into the Silas. I mean, you could, but that'd be a little awkward. Just like steal his ult and then stand still and channel it and then try to jump on him point blank. I mean, doesn't exactly scream fluid gameplay to me.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most fluid of gameplay. I 100% agree with you. I do want to actually kind of think about how Silas is going to play, right? With the fact of how he's going to be still in a bunch of these ultimates around. I actually don't know how the Moonlight Vigil would work with it. I guess it goes off of whatever weapons that Aphelios has at the time he yoinks it. But I'm actually very curious.
That's a good question.
Exactly how he does it. I am very curious if it has those added effects.
I mean, there's no real way for him to procs the certain ones, unless like it gives him a max range auto. So if it's Calibrum, or if it heals him if it's Severum or whatever. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye out on, because I don't think I've seen that yet. But other than that, you know, Ezreal Lulu, probably the safest of safe bot lanes if you've ever seen one. But this does also buy Hash a free lane to scale up and on the Aphelios. So for the side of Barrel, you know, it kind of just secures the fact that Aphelios won't be super far behind unless something catastrophic happens during laning phase. And just looking at the champions on the top side of the map, I feel like that's where all this action is going to be during this game, because it does look like it's going to be Set top lane, Pantheon mid, and Talia jungle, unless they decide to last second trade here. But I think they're set with what they're going to go do here. And, you know, at least Silas is not a jungle 2v2 to take lightly either. There's a lot of damage that can come out of those two champions. But, you know, like we were talking about, the mid 2v2 Talia Pantheon can burst down one person very, very quickly.
I do want to kind of take a note to look at Elise too, for sure, as I feel like there's going to be a lot of pressure on this Elise to really bring up that early game to mid game pressure, right? To get those catches onto this Taliyah Pantheon and whatnot. And he keep drawing to a very interesting scenario for us.
Yeah, and we'll see if the Taliyah Pantheon wants to do that level 2 cheese gank that you can do, where you start red on Taliyah and you just run mid with your W and Q, and Pantheon has his W and hopefully hits. Well, he won't be level 2, but he can have his W as well, start out with it, and then just kind of W into WQ. And with Taliyah, you at least get a Dark Harvest stack out of that to start off the game. And with red buff, you can auto and slow and force a flash out or something along those lines. So we'll see if Beryl decides to go for that cheese or not. But otherwise, I think it's going to end up being whichever top side of the map takes over this game is going to determine whether or not the series is done or we go to game 3.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And with that being said, something else that you should go do while we're going to take ourselves a short break is go and visit one of our beautiful, beautiful sponsors. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can go ahead and check out the ever so lovely Kono. That's right, ARKONO. That store that they'll be able to actually end up bringing up in the side of it, as I believe we have flipped over to different graphic. It's going to switch over back to the Kono. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can get the finest of keyboards there. Use the code UpsurgeGG for your 7% off of your first order. Going to be able to work things out, make everything clickety-clack, and make sure you'll be able to make a huge impact in every single game of League of Legends that you play. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take ourselves a short break. We'll be right back while you guys go and check out Kono.store and be able to pick yourselves up the finest of keyboards. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to UML. We are looking at Barrel going up to match point here with one game up inside of the series. Eclipse looking to even things on up. I'm Travis D. I'm joined here by Gus DePosey. Gus, we are seeing just a simple line of scrimmage this time.
Yeah, we saw game one that Eclipse kind of grouped up in the bush near their blue buff. That new bush that was added this season, but nope, just simple 5-point going on. Neither of these teams has really great invade. I mean, Brahm's pretty good at level 1, but without any others, CC kind of relying on someone not flashing away and landing the stun and following up. So makes sense that they aren't looking for it here. But
yeah,
we'll see, because Talia's on the red side already. Normally when you 5-point, the jungler sits mid lane, so that way you don't kind of give away where you're trying to start. It looks like is going to start the red buff, so we'll see if they want to try to do the level 2 gank or not.
Get the nice cheese going in there. You always love to see it. I am
Fresh
actually
European cheese.
very curious over the Lulu pick. This is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Braum not known for being able to threaten something like a Lulu, and Lulu should have a fairly decent time and actually synergizes super well with a Silas/Ornn.
Yeah, Silas goes on in, has really no way out, just to heal up and try to get on out, but with a Lulu ult, buys him 1 more HP, 2 an extra life, sorta. Buys him some space to try to get out, but looks like Talia's just going to do a full clear of her top side, or at least take the Krugs here before heading on down. Was spotted out on an early ward, I believe, so they saw where she was starting out.
Beautiful ward, actually, over in the top side there on the tri-bush. Knows that's exactly the way she's going to end up coming, and she is going to come stand there for that level 2. So really appreciate that small little detail, as Ornn doesn't want to get ganked early on and start having a snowballing set coming after him, as Vince taking a good amount of damage there.
Yep, that's the power of the Calibrum early on. When you hit level 2 and get access to your ability, you just auto, a lot of damage coming out, and it is appearing that Talia's going to do the full clear on the top side, whereas Elise is doing the standard level 3 clear. You go buff, Gromp, and you're level 3.
No, it's a nice time. Makes it to where you're set up. You got your full kit ready to go for you. As Pantheon trading that back and forth with Aim Down, making sure he's not going to be able to have his way with things. As Aim Down trading on back, getting a lot of damage.
An Ignite Q would kill, but here's Elise.
Yeah, Elise is here in the area. Pinged him out, said, hey, he's here. But Genesis going to immediately jump onto him.
You have to flash that, otherwise you're going to get hit by the seismic shove and take a lot of damage. So, unfortunately for McChastane, he's the early game jungler, and he gets his flash blown defensively in a gank attempt.
Yeah, it comes back to the point that you were talking about earlier, right? When we saw the Pantheon Talia locked in. This is why people play this duo. They played it in the bot lane. They're playing it as a mid jungle duo. It is just terrifying to have to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of what Talia has left. She's been changed so many times by Riot.
This is all she's got.
You went from your Q clearing all the waves and being a perma push to, okay, well, she can't do minions like that anymore, but now you can do that to monsters. So now she was like a premier jungler. Now it's like, she's still an okay jungler. Johnny flashes over the cocoon. That was a bit of a prediction cocoon to try to hit the flash. Didn't quite do it. But now Talia's like mediocre at wave clear and, mediocre jungle clear, at least early on compared to what she used to be. But now it's all about the power of the seismic shove into her E and the combo that she can have with things like Renekton and Pantheon, things with point and click CC early game, and that you can have an impact on.
And the RC are coming down here to the bot side. So look at that nutty move speed. Isn't going to be able to connect with the seismic shove. Going to have a lot of damage put back onto him. And going to find himself stunned on up, rooted on down. Black Cat is going to be able to jump on forward, protect a little bit, as this Elise looking to try and secure some vision for their team here. Need to be careful about how they proceed about this. They're looking to proceed forward onto this Elise. Lots of damage being put back. He's got the Graviton seismic shove, and that's first blood as easy as can be. Ash getting himself a great kill.
you have to be really cognizant of what guns Aphelios has when you try to go gank him, because, you know, especially when there's a Talia. If he has Gravidum available, he's got that root. There's a Braum passive on you. He can CC chain you for forever. And then Talia hits you with the Seismic Shove as well, and there's no way out for a Spider at that point. There's no Water Spout.
None at all. And no, Lone Black Cat and Hash are down here in the bottom side. Just trying to push it on out. He's got the flamethrower and the gravity gun. This flamethrower does lay out so much damage. I have to be careful about it. Chakram will be the next item for them, as Talia is over here.
The Seismic Shove from behind.
I mean, the Ignite is enough to finish it on off. Genesis, yet again, this duo is really playing the lane like a duo at this point in time with this Talia Pantheon.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the whole point. You kind of have to. It's like when you pick Rumble mid and you run Jarvan jungle, you kind of gotta find those team up opportunities and make the most out of your combo. Otherwise, why are you drafting it in the first place, you know?
And
Both top laners are level 6 now.
Yep, Johnny's taking a decent chunk of damage. Doesn't have TP and doesn't.
He can ult him here to interrupt it.
He's
Beautiful.
looking for it. He's going to go for it.
No
he
haymaker.
doesn't have the haymaker though, and he is going to find himself going on down. Unfortunate for him. If he had haymaker,
he used it earlier though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Is like, oh, we'll see if Vision can find the kill here. Autos for Dark Harvest.
Should be able to. He's going to find the knockup for himself. He's going to use the Seismic Shove. Gets him with the auto attack. Fusion picks up a kill on the backside of that. So going to be good for him. As Set did pick up a T-Mat and doesn't even have to use TP now thanks to Fusion.
Yeah, and it looks like Vision has 4 Dark Harvest stacks already at 7 minutes. That's pretty good.
No,
a Dark
aim down,
Harvest
aim
jungler.
down. Ooh.
Yeah, he's lucky the key wasn't available just there. Otherwise, that was a dead Silas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Silas would have absolutely gotten destroyed there and is really not having a fun time inside this lane. Pantheon making absolute work in this melee matchup.
Yeah, that's just kind of what Pantheon does. You remember old Pantheon, don't you? The point and
Oh,
click Q with that crit when they were low health.
Yep, it was one of my main champions. I remember when they announced they were changing Pantheon, I got a little bit sad, and then I saw the change and I was like, no, this is actually pretty BA indeed.
Yeah, I love new Pantheon. He's a lot of fun. I didn't like when he was outrageously OP, but when they nerfed him a little bit, it was like, all right, this is cool.
Now you're starting to
I
sound like
this
me.
guy.
You're starting to sound like me now.
Well, I mean, I didn't like how OP he was. Like, I played the hell out of him. Like, don't get me wrong. When he was hella busted, we played him all the time.
Now you sound less like me.
But it was when he got that little nerf where I think his Q just did a little bit less damage. It was like, okay, you know, he's a little more balanced now. He's got some clear weaknesses now. He's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, most of his weakness is that he doesn't scale well, but, you know.
Now, I do want to point out, Ornn does have TP. Could possibly look for a TP play here.
Weaver's Wall.
Talia's looking for something. Here we go. Ornn's going to TP on down. It's going to be the Pantheon jumping on in. He comes in.
Oh, Glacial Fissure.
Rides the back of a dragon. It's going to be a gut wrench powerbomb coming on in. It's just going to absolutely tear him apart. It's going to be another kill to go over to the Pantheon. Ornn trying to breathe some hot
Moonlight
fire,
Vigil.
but he's just going to find the Moonlight Vigil and another kill that goes over to Genesis.
Yeah, and now Silas has the Moonlight Vigil of his own, so we'll see what happens when he uses it. I'm actually interested. It is a Severum, and he did heal a little bit, so it looks like it just kind of grabs whatever gun he had at the time. So that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. I want to do some playtesting now. Does it do it like because he still had the same guns, right? Like, what if he switched guns there? Does it change the gun?
I think it depends on what he had when Silas yoinked it.
You think so?
Yeah,
That would be
because he had Crescendum, the Chakram one, active when Silas used it, and it was still red and healed him. So
yeah, so there you go. There's some we tested it out for you guys. So you guys know about it. You didn't have to test it out in solo queue yourselves. Do recommend playing Silas, fun champion. As we are getting into the game, Cloud Drake has now gone over to Barrel, and they have themselves a actually pretty substantial lead in comparison to what they had in the last game.
yeah, definitely. Last game they were just kind of sitting back, chilling, waiting, but the Talia has got so much done pre-6 that makes the Rengar look like it didn't really do anything at all last game. So we'll see if they can continue it on, because like we said, Pantheon, not the best scaling champion. Talia scales all right, not as great as other mages. but does scale pretty well, especially with the Dark Harvest. We'll be doing a lot of damage later on once more and more stacks come in for that. Set versus Ornn, it just kind of depends on whose ult does more and if Set can land a big old haymaker and do 800 true damage to everything or not. Otherwise, Ornn is pretty good as a champion.
Yeah.
So is Pantheon, being able to block literally everything.
Yeah, Pantheon is able to block out a lot of this damage in the mid game. You got to be very, very scared of this composition because there's Weaver's walls like we just saw in that bot lane gank. It just leads to so much. And Johnny's over here fighting up this Ornn, punching away at this thick boy. And Talia's here right behind him. Ornn doesn't know.
We'll see. No Weaver's Wall just yet, but everything else is available for Fusion here. So we'll see if Ornn decides to walk on up into a seismic shove, but gonna go throw down a ward. Feels a lot safer now. But we'll see if he decides to stay. Fusion can't see him. He's staying just out of vision, it looks like, to just kind of sit back and wait. Weaver's Wall is available if they decide to try and dive Ornn, but the thing is, Ornn can destroy player-made terrain.
Yeah, and hey, Ornn getting a little bit of damage put back onto him. Looking for the Simon's shot. Not going to be able to get it. This could be the opportunity that Eclipse has been looking for. Genesis is looking so very
much damage!
Not going to be able to connect. And Genesis goes on a rampage. Genesis looking to turn it on around possibly here. Shelly is in the pocket of McChastney. But
and
there's
here's
also
Hash. He
here.
does have Gravitum ready.
Seismic
So
shove here. They're looking
Wall.
for it. They're going to look to jump onto him. Seismic shove, not going to be able to connect. They're
Oh,
still going to be able to
that
throw
Dark
a pebble,
Harvest.
a rock, and he goes on down. Missed the shot, doesn't connect.
My Vigil.
Going to root up Vince. Vince taking a huge amount of damage.
Pantheon
he
ult.
needs to be careful. Pantheon looking for the ultimate. He looks for a little snipey do, but isn't going to be able to connect on that. As Genesis going to have to back it on up after that. But man, this team, they see an inch. They are going for the mile.
Yeah, throw out the Grand Starfall to try and pick off the Lulu. Wasn't quite able to do it, but now Fusion has 6 Dark Harvest stacks at 12 minutes, so doing pretty good in terms of those so far. We do have a while before Dragon is available. Meanwhile, McChastity did pick up the Rift Herald, so there's still some time before plates are down, but he's got to act quick because we are about 13 minutes in, so only has about a minute or so before plates go down and that Rift Herald becomes a lot worth less in terms of gold.
And it becomes a tricky scenario, right? You're looking for
There
something.
it is.
Here could be something. It's going to be the Call of the Forge God. Johnny flashing on away brilliantly. Shelly has been summoned to the Rift.
Get close,
He's going to
get
be able
close.
to knock it
No
down.
one's gonna
They're
get the
looking for
gold.
more.
Oh, he's got
Johnny is going to go ahead and Suflet City. Watch it all around the
Starfall.
place. Here comes the Starfall, but it's coming from aim down this time around. You've been deceived. There's the Haymaker laying out the damage. Fusion going to be able to pick up one for himself. And now it's just going to be this Ornn walking on away. Chastney going to be able to back it on up. No follow-up coming out from the rest of the team. Cocoon not going to be able to connect. Fusion needs to be careful. Vision needs to go down. He is going to find himself getting shut down. Ornn picking that one on up. And here comes the roam from the Braum. He says, me nets, me nets. Going to get cocooned. And it's just going to be Eclipse backing it on away here.
Yeah, Long Black Cat was all alone, just running up at him with the Moby boots. Pretty threatening there for that health anyway. But a good shutdown did come over to Ornn, so, he does have the opportunity to get tankier. Looks like he's building a stream to go for Iceborne Gauntlet, which, does have an Ornn item upgrade, but I don't think it's necessarily the best item now for Ornn, especially with Talia being so strong. Should probably build Abyssal Mask for himself, or, any of the other MR items here. But a lot of armor that he does need to build as well, because Set Pantheon Aphelios obviously do a lot of physical damage. And so far, this game is entirely in Barrel's favor.
Yeah, you can actually see they're looking to grab themselves their second Infernal Drake. True Shot Barrage is going to show up, take some damage, but it is just going to be another Drake for
Ocean
Barrel.
Soul yet again.
It's going to be Ocean yet again. No Rengar this time, but any team is going to be appreciative of being able to grab these.
Yomu's. Glitterland says no, thank you.
Yep.
Gotta love the glitter.
Yep, it's purple, as you may know. And it just gets everywhere. And you can't get rid of it. That is the fun of glitter. In your lances. is going to be absolutely fantastic. And now, seeing as everything else kind of goes along, Ornn did get the top tower there for himself, so big wave to shove in over on the top side.
Yep, and Ornn is getting pretty close to the level where his Sunfire Cape is going to auto-upgrade itself into, I believe it's called the Forge Fire Cape once it's upgraded. So, that's one thing that you have to consider too for the side of Eclipse is that each of these item upgrades, the ornaments as some people call them, are worth about 1,600 gold each. So in terms of stats, it's a lot of free gold to have when you can give one to each person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at doing quick math here, but 5 times 1,600 sounds like 8,000 in my head.
Yeah, well, something that is looking like a lot of quick math. We got 2 TPs coming on in, one from each side. What does it mean?
Yeah, Call the Forge God is available, but with Braum existing, you can block the Call the Forge God pretty easily, but they're just going to take the inside track towards this mid lane tower, it looks like, and try to get as much damage down to that as possible in exchange for the Rift Herald.
And it's just going to be this mid tower getting dropped down to half HP, not able to clear it on out. They don't really have the fastest of sieges just yet.
No, I mean, Ezreal does do a lot to towers with his new W, but, still just chilling with no complete items, just Sheen and pieces of Manamune. So, Manamune, however you want to say it. Not a whole lot of actual damage to be coming out of this Ezreal just yet, unless you're trying to fight him in the sustained poke war, where he can Sheen proc you over and over again. But does have a Ruby Crystal, so it looks like he will be going for the Trinity Forces. Genesis finds out McChast does so much damage.
Shot down so low. The
Ignite's gonna
kill. The shield is used. Genesis is going to go unstoppable. And fortunately, Elise kind of hesitated, walking around there.
Yeah, he turned back towards Pantheon. Genesis now wants some aim down. Does have the Braum ultimate.
Glacial Fissure is there. Aimdown could go ahead and use it, trying to buy himself some space, but Genesis is looking for more. He still wants to get more damage, and Genesis is dominating.
That's the thing with Pantheon is, he doesn't scale well, but if you don't, buy items to counter him, even though Silas has Ninja Tabby, still with Umbral Glaive and Youmuu's, that's a lot of lethality and a lot of AD behind it, too, as... I forget, is the second one called Herald, or is that the first one?
The second one is called Herald. The first one is Shelly.
So, Herald takes down the tower, going in for round 2 with the second tier tower.
Yeah.
But Pantheon is one-man wrecking crew right now. Genesis having a great game so far.
Yeah, Genesis...
Is he even a man? Really... I think he's a god still, right?
Yeah, Genesis has really been playing like a god inside of this game. We heard that we were talking crap about the early game with the LeBlanc, and was just like, okay, you know what? Screw this. These guys' opinions factually incorrect. Looking to try and do something there. Is gonna lay out a lot of damage on the Geico, but he is barely gonna be able to survive. Thankfully, had the heal in store for himself.
Had the insurance. He was covered there. It seemed like. He had
you caught me with that one. You caught me with that one. I'll give you that one. He was definitely...
The only downside to that is that Fusion got another Dark Harvest stack out of that.
Yep. Got another Dark Harvest stack. Is collecting those on up. Has had such great impact. And yet again, Aimdown getting jumped onto.
He's just going to Starfall
He
out.
gets up, out. He didn't care where he was. He just wanted to be anywhere but there.
That's funny.
Oh man,
right,
the only way that could have been better is if Genesis followed.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Or if he did that and Genesis didn't use his stun and just kind of stunned him while he was channeling it.
Yeah.
Dude, what are you doing? But Ornn is level 12 now, does have his items upgraded, so we'll soon be able to start upgrading his team's items here.
Mm-hmm.
So once the Trinity Force is done, that will turn into Trinity Fusion. Here
Weaver's
comes a Weaver's
coming
Wall.
in. Vision looking for something here. Geico
and
gonna
a
be able to jump
Starfall.
around. Here comes the Starfall. They're looking for action. They want blood. They're gonna find themselves on the orange.
Showstopper!
It
almost killed Vince!
The Showstopper just absolutely annihilates HP bars. The Call the Force God goes off in the wrong direction. That's a teammate, buddy. Johnny gonna be able to pick that one on up, and it's just Aimdown and Miss Chastity is left alive, as that was just a complete show dictated by the side of Barrel.
Yeah, we're gonna call Johnny Shawn Michaels there for that showstopper because that took Vince down to a 3rd HP from full, throwing that Ornn into that poor Lulu. And that was not okay. And, you know, it's just kind of set things. Hashtag set things, I guess.
Yeah, hashtag set things. You know, he's just doing a lot of things here and has been playing like the Thursday night's Messiah here, I guess is what we can call him at this point in time. As he has just been doing a fantastic job, really eating up the pressure. And these showstoppers have been very impactful, and even the ones that haven't been successful have been close.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
They're looking for something. Oh, wait, Vince is caught on out.
the Ignite.
It's a live. It's not even close.
Wait, that graphical glitch though, it's tricking me.
You're on fire, Lulu.
Lulu's permanently on fire.
We're just seeing what Lulu always feels. Lulu is constantly in a state of this is fine.
Oh man.
It's a
it's making the noise too.
It's got the eyes on it and everything. Oh no. Oh, well, if Vince's life is always on fire, apparently that's just part of the lore at this point. I'm down, looking for this to go on through, and Ornn just setting up some pillars, trying to match Silas here. Silas has been putting out a lot of pressure on the sideways.
Yeah,
And Barrel looking to complete control.
I'm looking for Eclipse to start building more of these Ornn items because, you know, like we said, 1,600 gold each times 5 is about 8,000 gold. So,
yeah,
not 8,000 something.
Here it is, another catch to happen here. Point and click, and your life is gone. And it's just going to be them backing it on up yet again and rinse and repeat. Here we go. Call the Forge God coming on in. They're going to be looking for it. Brom's going to be able to stop it, but he's going to find himself being the sacrificial lamb. Lots of damage being put in.
Showstopper!
The showstopper coming on in. Johnny lays out a
Moonlight Vigil misses.
But it does not hit the way he wants. Moonlight Vigil also whiffing there. And down looking to try and jump for it. Get a possible catch. They do have a member down, but no call of the Forge God for this Ornn.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Braum, you know, the Unbreakable can block either end of the Call of the Forge God. It's actually kind of better if you block the first half if you're able to. Just that way your team doesn't get slowed up by it, depending on where you're at. But blocking it at all is obviously fantastic, so... Good stuff for Long Black Cat, even though he was the only one who went down, his team is still able to apply pressure.
Exactly what you need to do. They don't get anything out of it, but the sidewave pressure still just dictating everything that's going on in this. And we got to take note, Barrel just really dictate pace inside of this match.
Yeah, and Geico will soon have Trinity Force, so soon we'll have Trinity Fusion as well, which is one of the best. Genesis says, thank you very much.
He is going to take him on down, and Vision takes on Vince. Never one without the other as the bot lane goes down together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can just call Fusion Genesis the tag team champions of this game right now.
Yeah,
they've just been popping off and killing everything. So
yeah, they've been undisputed. That's for sure. As we are looking at the Baron to come on in here, and it is going to be looking to burn it on down. Pantheon actually just going to chill and wait for anybody who dares to come near him.
Lying in wait.
Will the ambush tactic pop off? Will it work? I mean, the Baron is just there. Nobody even attempted to go check it.
Yeah, he's still staying there.
Yeah.
Genesis still trying to sit and wait, but doesn't find anything out.
Yeah. Chastain. Yeah, I'm guessing they're grateful, right? He was hiding in there. He was hiding underneath the ring at that point in time with the steel chair, waiting to jab somebody with it. Not going to be a fortunate time for him.
I mean, he's using something a little more effective than a steel chair. He's got a spear, you know. If they use spears in WWE, maybe more people would watch it.
Yeah, pokey stabby. Pokey stabby. That's exactly what it is. And, oh, wait, hold on. Looking for something possibly here. as the Drake is coming up. This is Ocean Soul. We were hyping it up last game for a very, very good reason, but this coming up soon could be a very big fight to break out. Oh, Vision. Moonlight Vigil comes on in. And Vision is going to be in a bad spot. It's going to be the Orn there. Does not block it. Hash is going to find himself getting jumped onto. That's going to be a two-man. He's
got Severum, though.
Hash is going to be in a bad spot. He's dropped down so very low. Genesis over here in the top side dealing with aim down. They are going to have the Lulu ultimate, the Wild Growth, being used onto Orn. And now looking to see how this goes. Genesis just has complete way with this tower. It's going to be the Weaver's Wall coming in. Vision, I don't think you wanted to jump like that, buddy.
Showstopper!
The Showstopper coming on in, laying out damage, but he's going to find it turn on around.
Stolen Starfall.
So it's going to be grab the aim down. He joins the fight. A new challenger has appeared. They pick up 2.
Here comes the real Starfall.
And they're looking for it. Starfall comes on in. He sits on your face. Take a look at Genesis is looking to pop on off now. Aim down, trying to jump on the Hash.
Oh, he can get him.
The victory, but Hash is going to take him out and says there's no chance in hell you'll be able to finish him off.
Yeah, and you know, the fight got a little hectic for Beryl. They did lose 2. They secured the Ocean Soul, however, and Pantheon took down the top side inhibitor. He still has his Baron buff. He'll be able to back up right on quick. Still 9-0-7 on this Pantheon. And, you know, Hash kind of got close to dying there just a little bit. Silas did do a lot. Aim down almost took him down, but, you know, was able to survive. And I think he's got, he should have enough gold to complete his Infinity Edge when he backs. So, once again, a very, very strong Aphelios compared to his counterpart. You know, even with the Trinity Fusion upgrade from the Ornn, this Ezreal still just hasn't been able to accomplish a whole lot.
And it's also the point, like, you look at some of the different things, like Silas super far behind because of what has Genesis been able to do inside of this game. And it's just been completely demolishing in a lot of different regards here. And nobody else has an Ornn item. You were talking about that earlier. Build some Ornn items. You got him over there. He is more than happy to build you an item for free.
Yeah, I think both the mages need to build Zhonya's, I think, because I don't think either one of them's getting Rabadons, especially when aim down just kind of gets one shot. It was so sure that directed camera moved away from it.
Yeah, it was literally like the fadeaway shot. Like, you know, whenever somebody just like shoots the ball and it just swooshes right on in, but the person walks on away, that's basically what we just got to see there as...
Yeah, Riot was like, you've seen this before. You don't need to see it.
Yeah, we don't need to see it. We've seen it. We don't need to play it on repeat here. Now Vince over here
trying to help out. One person that Genesis does not do damage to is Marco right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's the one person that has countered against him. But look at this inhibitor going on down, possibly, as they got the turret. Now it's a bare inhibitor for them to play with.
Should be free, and the transfer down the
bot
bot.
Coming on in. They're looking to do some
though.
Showstopper. Going to be able to come out onto the Ornn, laying them out, keeping them out of the fight. Hash is going to be able to pick up the inhibitor onto the side. That's going to be the Wild Growth that's going to be used, but it's just going to be Lulu getting demolished. Genesis pops around the side.
Hash! The Ocean Soul is keeping him alive!
Staying alive for so long. The Weaver's Wall saving Geico.
Oh, the shove under the rock!
Still going to be able to get him, and it is going to be an ace. Oh wait, it's not going to be an ace. Ornn is still alive. He survived through all of that, but it is going to be the end of the game. One haymaker later, a pebble, a rocket goes on down, and that is going to be game 2 and a 2-0 going over to Beryl.
Yeah, Beryl's having a really dominant game this time around. Last game could have gone either way at a certain point. Beryl took it and ran with it. This game, however, Pantheon 11-0-10. The Aphelios once again 4-0-4. Challenge not found, at least in this game too, because they just kind of ran through Beryl. Like, aim down did what he could, almost picked up a few kills. Geico tried what he could, but they just could not find the kills aside from when Beryl overstayed. You know, Eclipse just had such a hard time doing much of anything this game. And even McChastney, who's playing Elise, one of the premier early game junglers, couldn't get a whole lot done early on. In fact, had to blow his flash in the first gank compared to the Talia. You know, you kind of expect Elise to just dominate the early game, and that didn't happen.
I just gotta talk about the fact that this duo that we did see, the Talia Pantheon, working out fantastically in the Pantheon here. Look at his damage, 29k. The net's highest damage was the Talia at 18k. That's an absurd amount of damage from this Pantheon in Genesis. Really? I mean, I gotta say, put on an MVP performance absolutely in this game.
Yeah, I mean, this game for sure would be the MVP. If you got to give an MVP for the whole series, though, it's got to be Fusion. I mean, his
Yeah.
Rengar provided so much disruption in game one. And even though he died 3 times and wasn't solo killing people like Genesis was still a big part of this combo working out. So, he gets the series MVP, but Genesis popped off this game for sure. And a shout out to Hash and Johnny and Long Black Cat as well. Hash, I don't think he died in game one either, did he?
I don't believe so. I would have to
So
go
a
back and
potential
check the
deathless
tapes,
series for Hash on Aphelios,
Yeah.
so not too shabby at all. Aphelios, even though he's pretty strong, is still an immobile 80 carry, still can be
Yeah.
blown up pretty easily. So, Barrel came in and did what they needed to do. But if you're looking at the side of Eclipse, game one was a testament of what they can accomplish. There were parts in that game one where they could have taken the reins and finished it off. But, this
Philius
game...
died 2 times in game 1, just to give a stat check on that. I just went back and
Okay.
checked. So 2 times in the last game.
Two
so
times.
Still,
Yeah, he had very good series for himself. And Barrel looks like they're a strong team that thrives in the sort of chaotic situations that their champion picks can create. Whereas Eclipse, when they play standard front to back, they looked pretty strong. They had a couple missteps in game one. This sort of team comp for them, though, it didn't really seem like there was a whole lot going on synergy-wise. Like, I guess at least Silas is a decent enough mid 2v2, but not in Talia Pantheon. And then the Ezreal Lulu bottom lane, like, I get it. They're just trying to stay safe and scale. But when your mid and jungle 2v2 loses that hard, there's not a whole lot that they can accomplish. So, rough game for Eclipse. Unfortunately for them that they lost game one and didn't get a chance to win the series in a game 3. But yeah, this was a pretty exciting series overall. Had lots of hype moments.
yeah, I absolutely agree on that one. And before we end up signing on off, we got to take a moment to talk about somebody else who's very, very exciting. I believe Hyper knows him. Everybody knows him. Everybody here at Upsurge knows him. It's all about that Midwest. As you guys all know, Midwest puts out the finest of competitions out there, finest lands. They really help out with a lot of different things that are inside of there. So make sure you guys give them a check out as well, because they are one of our sponsors that make sure that we're able to provide the finest of amateur League of Legends that is around. So be sure to check them on out. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Travesty. I've been joined here by Guster Posey, and we want to wish you all a great night, and we'll see you when the action starts back up again for the League of Legends action starting on Monday with the UCL. So be sure to stay tuned, and we'll see you then.